Alright, howdy gamers and welcome to Devlog 3. The first thing I'm going to go over is the heroes themselves and the abilities I ended up picking. So first, we've got the spellcaster guy, and he is basically, I think it's Warlock in actual Dota. He's got Stroke of Fate, which is basically just a skill shot that slows, and then for his ultimate, he has good Juju, because that seemed cool. Basically just removes cooldown whenever he casts a spell. Got the big guy, which, in Dota's name is Axe. It's got, Monkey King's strike thing, and then Bramble Maze, just because it seemed cool. For the one with the bow, aka Drow Ranger, mostly gave auto attack abilities, just extra damage, and also just a slow on auto attacks sometimes. And then for Marcy, or aka the one with the fists, I gave the sharpshooter thing, and I reduced the max windup time because right now I'm not sure how to get it so you can cancel it early. So it's like much more just like a ranged punch right now. It takes like half a second to go off, slows some, that kind of thing. And then for the ultimate, I went with Reality Rift just because it seems like a cool ability. And one thing to note is that while it is a mobility spell, it's one that can basically only be used to like engage and cause fights to happen, which I'm much more okay with than kind of the general purpose mobility spells that can also be used to run away. Yeah, so those are the abilities that I have picked for now. Obviously they're subject to change, but really a lot of what I was doing the last week is just trying to get things in a place where things can be place tested soon. And so there's definitely going to be some problems with balance or other things, or maybe abilities feeling weird, but I think that's just something that's going to need to happen during playtesting, just because there's only so much I can do on my own. In a second here, it should kill the bot, and then it should show the new victory message, which and I was just going to say the team name and then the victory. As a result, I realized that I'm probably going to need to change the team names to be something other than starting zone, but that's a future problem. The next thing to talk about is weapons and abilities. And basically, here's a picture of the models for all the weapons. You can kind of see their names, although some of them are kind of code names. Of note, there's two weapons that are obviously not really weapons, that being the med kit and the bird, which is just a scouting tool basically. Just because I figured it'd be good to have some stuff that isn't just for killing people, is used to at least get some information. The other thing is to kind of go along with this, a lot of what drove the decision making as what weapons I added had a lot to do with which models are in the asset browser, and yeah, that's I guess kind of it, and what I could find. The other thing too is that I wanted to make sure that I had an idea of what was going to be on the map before I made the weapons. So in theory, this is more or less the overall plot for what the map will look like. Going between zones, allowing people to create at least two different things depending on the materials. I figured it wouldn't be very much fun if people go between zones and they still can't craft stuff, especially for a prototype. Best to keep things simple. And so basically tried to have only two unique components in each zone, and then two things you could build going between zones. Both the things that are just any combination, basically all 6 combinations. And so kind of what these things look like in game is shown right here. All the weapons just kind of in game in a circle. I don't really have the time right now to go through each ability and explain what it does, and it probably wouldn't be a great idea too, just because there's a very good chance some of this stuff changes soon, just because I'm still very much in a prototyping mode. At the very least, everything has been kind of converted to the mod's needs, with only having 1 level, no mana cost, only 1 rank, which I guess is the same as only 1 level, but you get what I mean. But yeah, everything at least has a skill at this point, which is good. The other big thing I need to do too is make up an icon for everything, because I just used the medkit icon as a placeholder, and it would obviously is going to be very confusing if everything has the same icon, especially if it's the medkit icon too. But still a lot of progress to have everything at least picked out. And hopefully this should allow for like playtesting relatively soon once the map is actually done, which, you know, it's going to be its own thing, but hopefully not too bad to make. Okay, so some of the main stuff I did was just updating this little doc about how to add heroes. Importantly, there's this, you know, all hero and all ability KB files, and the ability file was like kind of out of date. The one that I had linked, it was missing like Marcy and some other stuff. So I used like one of the tools online for extracting like source 2 stuff to just dump all of it and check it into the repository, which should make developing heroes a little easier. This is, you know, just the heroes file for all of them right now, because basically the abilities you need to override. It's either an abilities value or ability special, just depending on the ability, I guess, whatever they felt like or something. They need stuff to be overridden to accommodate there being only like one level and everything. And I also like change this code a little bit too. Previously I'd like make a new object for each override, but I was realizing, especially with, you know, this newly dumped file, it was much easier just to have, you know, a string where you just dump everything and edit it, just because there's so many edge cases. That also lets you kind of do some other things too, where there's other fields that aren't in the ability special, but still need to be overridden, and you can just put them here directly. So that part's nice. Another thing is, so like, you know, I think last devlog I had figured out how to add hitboxes to things. I was doing that manually, and then it was taking a long time, and I was, you know, not liking it. So I decided to open up the file that has the hitbox and realized it was basically just a text file, with, you know, the hitbox being defined here. This file name replace me being the thing that you need to replace with the name of the file. And so now I have a script to just generate hitboxes for everything. There's like some stuff where it's like not quite lined up right, but it's not too bad. And there's like a little effect to kind of show you where you need to click for those things, which is nice. Well, that's it for this week. If you do want to follow the development even more, do make sure to subscribe. I will be posting these videos weekly, just every Saturday morning, basically. So thank you very much for watching, and I'll catch you next time.